Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new Coffee Talks video. I haven't done one in a while, so I decided it's time to grab my cup of coffee and talk. So today I want to talk to you about how to begin your path on positivity and motivation. Now, this is something that I still struggle to this day, and I'm learning things about along the way because being positive and being optimistic is not in my nature. It is not how I grew up. It is not what was instilled in my brain. For me, it's very hard. I was raised, I'm Russian, and I don't know if this is a cultural thing. I really don't know. But in my personal experience, I was raised with kind of pessimistic parents. They, were more like realists. They don't believe in dreams and really dreaming, or like they do. It's like, oh yeah, it's nice to dream, but that'll never happen. It's just a dream. Like, to them, dreams can't really become reality. And that's just kind of the environment that I was raised in. And they really believed in negative reinforcements of, if you tell someone you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, they'd like rise up and be like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong, and do great, amazing things. Supposedly. Yeah, it did not work with me. It did not work with my brother. Didn't work, so I don't think that's a very good tool to use on people. Growing up in that household, it kind of like ingrained in my head, and the way that your parents or my parents or parents in general, the way they handle things typically get kind of deep rooted in there. And as I got older, I was like, I don't like this. Like, I knew I didn't like being this negative person. I didn't like always being so down and hard on myself. And not even that, it was just like my entire outlook on life was just negative. It was just like, of course this had happened to me, of course this was gonna do blah blah blah, like, and always negative and pessimistic. But that's what I grew up knowing. As I got older, I was like, I don't want to be like this. I made kind of like a conscious decision that I want to be more positive, and I don't like being around negative people. I don't like being around people that complain all the time. I don't like being around people that make out to be a victim all the time, like, oh, life is hard, or everything sucks, and blah blah blah, or like the world owes you something when it doesn't, without you working for it. Like, no, you're what makes you so special? Nothing. In actuality, nothing. So I made a conscious decision that I wanted to be more positive. Great, step one, done, right? Wrong. It is hard. It was really hard, and I didn't know how to do it because I was so in that negative state of mind my entire life. That up until that point, that I was like, anytime I would try and be positive, and something would happen, I would immediately go back to being my negative self. It would just, I don't know, I can't really explain it. It was just like as if something switched in my brain, and it's like negative, negative, negative again. I started reading books, I started reading things online, and just kind of doing my own little research and kind of self-reflection and all that. And I came up with these 3 tools that I believe have helped me become a more positive person. Now, before I tell you about these 3 things, I just want to say that I'm not positive all the time. Things suck. I complain. I can be negative sometimes. I sometimes just want to vent and say how much life sucks, because sometimes it does. But what I'm trying to get at is your overall general kind of state of being, your overall mindset. That's what I'm going to try and help you begin your journey on. Number 1, be grateful for things. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful for your friends, your family, your job, your dog, your cat, your couch. I love my couch. It's great. The couch I had before was awful. And when I was able to finally afford a little bit of a better couch, oh my God, I was so grateful that I could spend a little extra. And this is not a lavish couch, but I'm so happy I invested just a little more money into it, and I bought a new one, sold the other one. Like, so happy about it. And I'm not saying you have to be grateful 24/7 in terms of like actually being conscious of it. Like, you can just take a minute or two to sit down, have your cup of coffee or your tea or your water, whatever your drink, or beer or wine, whatever your preference is, and have a moment and just kind of take a deep breath and just really just be like, wow, I have so much. I have a roof over my head, I have my health, I have a job, I have people that care about me and people I care about, and really get down to the root of things. Because yes, materialistic things are nice. Yes, do I want them? Of course. I'll admit it, of course do I want that Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag? Yeah. But I'm not gonna be sitting here every day being like, oh my god, it's not fair that they have it and I don't, and blah blah blah, whatever, whatever. Like, those are just things. I'm grateful for my friends and my family and people that love me and support me and just a bunch of other things. The list goes on. And sometimes it may be helpful to sit down and really create a list, like literally create a list of the things you're grateful for. You can also start a journal and write maybe a sentence or two every day, or whenever something pops up, write it in there. I'll admit, this is a very new practice for me. This I didn't start until a few months ago, I want to say. The grateful part, like, that is definitely new, and I'll admit it was hard, and I'm like, how is this going to change anything, whatever. And it wasn't until I injured my wrist at work. I was taking out the trash and I injured it, and due to my injury I was no longer able to really work out and do yoga, so I haven't really been able to do that. And I noticed that not only was my body like kind of getting out of shape and whatnot, like aside from that, I noticed that I'm not doing something I enjoyed because I literally can't. I could not put pressure on my wrist, I could barely bend it, and thank God it's getting better now. And I just did like a yoga session the other day, and I was like, I miss this so much, but my wrist started to ache about halfway through, and I'm like, I miss the days when I didn't have to worry about my wrist injury. And it's something as small as that that I look back on and I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful for my able body and to be able to do what I want to do and what I like to do, such as yoga. Just being grateful for the fact that I was able to use my wrist, and now it's thankfully starting to slowly heal. And I heard this back literally the first week of May, and it is just now starting to slowly heal. Like, I still can't put a ton of pressure or weight or overuse it too much. I still wear a wrist brace at work, but I took for granted something like that. And looking back, I was like, oh my gosh, I really shouldn't have. So be grateful for what you have. Like I said, make a list, make a note, write a journal entry, sit down and just do it like mentally. You don't even have to write it down if you don't want to, but just acknowledge what you have and acknowledge it and that it's there. Number 2, make a conscious effort to look at things in a different light. Now, what I mean by that is the whole glass half empty, half full situation. Try to look at it as a glass half full. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know. And I feel like this is something that people say all the time, like, oh, just look at a glass half full, blah, blah, blah. But now what I'm getting at is to make a conscious effort to look at it half full. So don't automatically let your emotions just go out of control and just start complaining and whining and just being very negative and just being like, oh my gosh, this is the end. Take a step back, breathe, and try to focus on the actual situation. You know, you want to assess the overall big picture, because when you're so zoomed in onto one little aspect of your life, it seems like the entire world is crashing down, when it's not. Because if you zoom out, it's just a tiny little flicker of dust, just a tiny piece of an entire puzzle, you know? Now, for example, the other day, I forgot to set an alarm. And so I was late for work, they called me and I'm like, of course, blah, blah, blah. And this has happened to me before. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this whole day is ruined. Like, I'm late now. And I really got to work. I was late. I was like 40 minutes late, and I'm not somebody that's late. I'm always early. And I hate people that are late. I hate being late. So I make a conscious decision to always be early. So I was late for like 40 minutes. And you know, did my job, came home, and I really tried to be like, it's just a little aspect of your day, just a little aspect of your day. And unfortunately, that day, it was like one thing right after the other of things just not going my way and things just happening. And I was so frustrated and I was so angry, and I'm like, I'm so done with today. I can't believe all this happened. Of course it happened today, and blah, 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 this and that. My day is ruined, this is ruined. And then I was like, hold on. It's just a day. If I had consciously just made a stronger, real effort and emotional decision that me being late was not going to affect my day, it may not have. I may not have been thinking about it for the rest of my shift and then forgetting to bring, some milk home. And then I'm like, oh my God, I have to go out again. So like as soon as I came home, I'm like, oh no, I was supposed to grab milk and I didn't. And so I had to go back out again, and I'm like, oh my God, this is so annoying. And then as I left the store, I realized I forgot something else. So I was like so frustrated. But if I didn't focus on the whole aspect of me being late, maybe I wouldn't have been so distracted and I would have remembered to bring the milk home. But because I let that control my entire morning, it ended up controlling my entire day. And it ended up, in a sense, ruining my day. But it didn't. I ruined it. So if you just take that tiny little moment, that's all it is. It really is just a moment of your day, which is a moment of your week, of your month, of your year, of your entire life. It's itty bitty. And it's gone like this. So make a conscious effort to really step back, take a breath, and be like, okay, that sucked. Maybe next time, double check that you set your alarm, Tanya. All right, moving on. And that's it. And I'm not saying everything is going to be fixed like that. I'm not saying every problem is as easy or as simple to fix like that. There are, of course, very serious issues, serious problems, serious situations that go on in your life. But if you can just step back and just be more aware of yourself, of your mindset, and just try to look at it in a positive way, I promise you it will help you out so much. And number 3, find a balance in your life. Now, we all have responsibilities. We all have things we have to do. We all have, jobs, or maybe we have kids, or you're married, or you're taking care of your parents, your grandparents, I don't know. We all have something that we have to do in our adult life, but make sure you do things. Make sure you include something, maybe not every day, maybe once a week, maybe every few days, maybe every 2 weeks, whatever it is. Do find some time to do something that you like to do. It really can be anything you want. But it has to be that. It has to be something you want to do, not something that you have to do, something you want to do, something makes you joyous, something that brings you happiness, something that's just for you, which all kind of leads back to, I believe it was my first coffee talk, self-care. I'll link that video down below about all of self-care, and what it is and stuff, so I'm gonna link it below. Check that out as well. Remind yourself to actually do the things you want to do and make time for it. Set time aside to actually go out and do it. I guarantee you, once you are able to balance your life between your, responsibilities, whatever they may be in your life, and the things that just bring you joy and happiness, and things that make you feel alive, once you find a good balance between those things, you will be so much more happy in your life. And I guarantee you, when you're just happy on the inside and you're just in a good mood, things will go your way. Things will just seem brighter, and I feel like you will just see how amazing life is, and you will see all these opportunities, and you will see and feel just better overall, and you will start to actually see the positivity in your life. And once you see all that, I really feel like it'll help you live your best life, honestly. And that's, I feel like, all we really want is to live our life to the fullest, to live our best life, because it is very short. So there you go. Those are my 3 tips on how to start your path to be happy and positive and motivated. I hope they help you out. I hope you try them out if you need to. And please leave a comment down below and let me know if you have any suggestions of your own. I would love to hear it, because as I've mentioned before, I still struggle with it every day. So I have to make a conscious decision to be positive. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's helpful. I love you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.